Lower courts have so far rejected immunity claims from former President Trump's legal team in a case brought by special counsel Jack Smith. The Supreme Court has previously ruled presidents are immune from civil liability for official acts, but has not extended protections for criminal prosecutions. The trial was scheduled to start next week, but has been put on hold during the appeals process.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Congressional leaders say there's an agreement on 6 spending bills and a short-term extension to prevent a partial government shutdown Saturday.
The plan is to vote on the bills by March 8th. Leaders say Congress will work on finishing and passing the final 6 spending bills before March 22nd.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. At least one person is killed in the wildfires burning in Texas, an 83-year-old town of Stinnett. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And a very good, well, I'm not hearing myself.
I'm not easy.
Well, we'll get it figured out here shortly, I guess. I know we're on the air anyway. That's the good thing.
I got to turn my microphone on. That's why. So you're somewhere else. It's one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. I can tell you right now. It's Friday. No, it's not. It's Thursday, and it should be Friday because today is not the last day of the month. Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah, it's one of those weird months. It happens once every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We always say there are 365 days in a year, right?
So there's 366 this year.
Well, the 366 this year, but they're actually the way that is measured, they're actually 365 and 1/4 days every year. But they have to make up for it every 4 years and just add 1 day.
Okay. Who came up with that rule?
I don't know. That's what I remember.
Why do you have to
studying in
add a
school.
day every 4 years too? Like I said, who came up with that rule?
Well, because it actually takes 365 and 1/4 days to make it around. So it would be an entire year.
Well, I don't know about you, Kelly, but I feel educated.
I just feel
You
like
feel
that's
confused.
dumb.
I'm educated. What?
Well,
I get it.
It is what it is.
Right.
Let's see. What else have we got going on? Politics as usual. Oh, my God. We just heard on Fox News what's going on there.
Look, even at the funeral home last night, politics.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm like, really? That's crazy. Everywhere you go.
All sorts of stuff happens at funerals. It's weird sometimes.
Yeah.
Conversations. You don't see people over for a long time, and then you gather together, and then you play catch up.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of catching up last night. It really was.
Kelly, have you voted yet?
Yes.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Robbie and I are going to plan to do it tomorrow. We got tomorrow and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't get it done tomorrow, it'll be Saturday.
I'm doing mine tomorrow. I finally made up my mind. It's been hard.
Well, I haven't made up my mind yet.
Well, right now, I finally got it to where I want it. So don't anybody do anything crazy between tonight and tomorrow to change my mind.
Well, I'm open for, highest bidder. If you want to give me a bunch of money, I'll
Highest bidder.
yeah, right. I'll vote however you want me to vote. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be done?
I'm
I think
trying to stay out of that one.
Well, the reward for information that helps Jacksonville police locate the person or persons who killed a transgender woman 3 years ago is now $25,000. Police and the FBI are investigating the case as both a hate crime and, of course, a murder. Known as Jenna Franks, at the time of her brutal murder, her body was found by a Jacksonville work crew near Ellis Boulevard and White Street 3 years ago, last Saturday. An autopsy showed the 34-year-old victim had been stabbed repeatedly in the neck and leg, a classic case of rage. If you think you have information, regardless of how trivial it is, please reach out to the Jacksonville Police Department, the FBI office in Charlotte, or if you want to give the information without having to identify yourself, call Crime Stoppers, 910-938-3273. I'll get that number again in a second. Someone walking among us today is a person who has committed cold-blooded murder and needs to be held accountable. Let me explain how the most trivial piece of information can lead to a murderer. 1974. After killing a hostage used in a bank robbery here in Jacksonville, the kidnapping and murders of 2 teenage girls walking along Onslow Drive, then days later abducting another woman, using her as a hostage to rob another bank, shot her to death, one tiny suspicious lead was found out that Friday night.
Really?
Yep.
What was the lead?
While printing the bank surveillance photos on film in those days, you'll recall,
Right.
what caught my attention was a strange deformity in one of his eyes when he looked towards the side. He was wearing a ski mask both times. As long as you look at him straight on, no problem.
Mhm.
Numerous print image, many numerous prints of that image were circulated beginning Saturday. On Saturday, a Navy corpsman was reporting for work at the MP station attached to the Jacksonville Police Department. He walked in, saw the photo, knew nothing about what was going on, and said something to the effect, "Why are you looking for Marcus Schrader?" A day later, on Sunday, police, sheriff's deputies, the FBI, and a bunch of highway patrolmen knocked on Schrader's Cedar Point home. He was taken into custody, tried and convicted, and spent the remainder of his life behind bars. When you might think of something, you might think it totally trivial. Yeah, it could be this guy. Well, think again. It could very well be that guy. Something that might be a rather unusual characteristic for an acquaintance of yours might just be the clue that can solve this murder. Transgender or not, Franks was a human being. Crime Stoppers of Jacksonville, make a note of the number, 910-938-3273, 910-938-3273. Let's bring somebody to
Right.
justice.
Got it.
All right, big political news yesterday.
Yes.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell,
Mhm.
kind of at the forefront of a lot of controversy these days, caught a few people by surprise yesterday. Shortly after noon, from the Senate floor, he announced that he would be stepping down in November. The 82-year-old McConnell has been serving in the Senate since 1985, arriving as a freshman senator from Kentucky. He's had his battles with fellow Republicans, including a couple presidents. Most recently, Donald Trump, at a town hall meeting, was quoted as saying that he wasn't sure he could work with McConnell. Well, I'm not sure that President Trump, former President Trump, is going to be president to work with McConnell or whoever his replacement is.
Right.
Some Republicans have openly criticized the minority leader for his bipartisan support of the failed border security bill because it provided aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Sources close to the senator have said that McConnell's health is not an issue, in spite of a concussion when he fell and a couple times when he seemed to freeze up while speaking. Almost 40 years feeding at the public trough is enough, is what I say. He needs to go.
I think his health played a huge issue in his decision.
Now, if Biden, who's been feeding at the same trough for a half a century, would take a hint and do the same thing, it would be better off. This country would be better off.
The trough.
Yeah, well, they are. They are feeding at the public trough. Mine. Just like feeding a bunch of pigs.
Well, I think Mitch McConnell did the right thing.
Yes, he did. Because it would have just gotten worse. Things would have
Yes.
been worse. No
That's a
doubt.
lot of pressure. And he's got health issues, and
He does.
we've seen his health issues. The deer in the headlight,
Total denial.
total just freezes and has to take a few 23 seconds or more to come out of it. And and you know what? Just step down and enjoy your life.
Yes, absolutely.
Politics can wear you out.
It wears me out, and I'm not in it.
Absolutely.
It's just the aggravation, the
It
stress.
was one day last week I was so stressed out with so many people calling about and I was like, y'all got to stop.
Okay, coming up this morning about 7:30, we've got the Swansboro Mayor, John Davis, who's a candidate for the Board of Commissioners.
In Onslow County Commissioner.
Onslow Gus. He's coming on here as part of his ad campaign.
Yes.
He paid for it. So that's one of the deals. I got something. This one bugs the crap out of me. The man who has been on death row now longer than any other person in the country, well, he's still there because medical personnel were not able to get an IV into a vein so the state of Idaho could send him away permanently. This happened yesterday.
I saw that.
You got to be kidding me. Thomas Eugene Creech had a date with the eternity yesterday, but after trying for an hour to get the IV started, they gave up and he was sent back to his cell. The death warrant has expired, and at some point in time, the state will issue another death warrant, maybe, and another attempt will be made to kill him. A lot of nonsense. First of all, Idaho Governor Brad Little signed legislation last year authorizing the use of a firing squad as a method of execution if lethal injection is deemed unavailable. It's unclear whether Wednesday's failure would meet that standard.
Well, I would think it would.
I would think it would. They couldn't do it, so let's move on. Lock and load.
But they couldn't find another vein somewhere else in his body.
I don't know what they do.
I mean, how does that
Oh,
work?
they're going to
Because
come back and say it was inhumane.
They
all
better
the
not say
attempts.
that.
You know, we
Oh, they will.
You saw
For
that
an hour. So
what happened a couple months ago with the other one.
yes. Creech has been convicted of 5 murders, including of a cellmate, not a cellmate, a prison mate, another prisoner, since he was
What
arrested.
happened to the noose?
yeah.
Man.
3 states, 5 murders, and he's also a suspect in committing a number of other murders. He's been in
Eva.
prison since 1974.
Wow. That's a long time.
And apparently still killing if he's in prison. So
Yes.
there's that.
States with death penalties should have a backup plan. All of them.
I
Every
agree
state
with that.
with
Yeah.
the death penalty should have a backup plan. The firing squad is simple, inexpensive, and definitely effective.
Mhm.
So what's the problem? Don't got to look for a vein. Just got to put a picture of a heart over his. And 7 people open fire. One of them will have a blank.
I didn't know that, really.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, I just learned something this morning.
If you don't want to use a firing squad, just give him a shot with fentanyl in it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
We got plenty of it. The Border
They
Patrol
can
has
walk
got-
down the street. What are you talking
the
about?
Border
Yeah, we
Patrol
got
has
plenty.
got it by the tons
Yeah,
You're right there.
in their evidence lockers.
yeah. It's true.
Just take matters into your own hands and load up.
I couldn't imagine being one of those family members there for the execution and all
Mhm.
that happening. And all right, take him back to his bunker.
No, just
know.
open that door for just a minute.
Yes. Give them all they need is probably a minute.
Yeah, just let me carry my pistol and we'll take care of it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. They're going to do away with the death penalty in this country. You wait and see. They're going to try. They're going to do away with it because of botched executions like this. They're going to call it cruel and unusual punishment.
But majority of the people they killed, that's cruel and unusual punishment. Especially when you hear about these stories of people
Oh,
being
yeah.
tortured and
Yeah,
kids tortured and oh no.
yeah.
No.
Eye for an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
One of the Caribbean prison escapees accused of kidnapping an American couple during a violent yacht hijacking. They caught him.
yeah, they did catch him.
They see him in handcuffs and kind of bloodied.
Yeah.
They threw him into the back of a truck. The suspect is one of 3 men investigators say threw Ralph Hendry and his wife Kathy Brandel overboard after they took their catamaran by force during their escape from a Grenada prison. The abandoned boat, it's called Simplicity, was located earlier in this week. It's believed the 3 escapees threw the couple who lived in Virginia overboard. From evidence aboard the boat, they were likely killed, then their bodies dumped over. Police are still looking for the other 2 and are still searching the waters in the area, hoping to find the couple or at least their remains.
That's just
Not
terrible.
It's
likely going to
awful.
happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they more likely had been planning this for years to go on this,
They were members of a sailing club
right, go on this
out
sail.
of Virginia, and they took excursions up and down the coast, but this is their first trip to the Caribbean.
Well, the Caribbean, it's gotten very dangerous.
Caribbean
The
is
State
very-
Department has
very
started
dangerous.
issuing
Yes.
advisories.
Bahamas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for one place. Good
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah. gotten real
They've
bad.
had women raped, a number of them, including an 83-year-old grandmother
Mhm.
in Bahamas. Something's got to be done. And, people ask me why I didn't take my boat down to the Bahamas and what. It's not very far.
No, I know.
I just go down.
Reasons like this.
I could go down. Well, not for reasons like this. Reasons I can't carry my gun into another country.
Well, that is the greatest reason.
You can't keep it on the boat?
Nope.
Wow.
When you're in port, you have to turn it into the popo.
Yeah, that's like New York.
You'd never get that thing back. They'd probably steal
Well,
it.
no, keep them, and they'll turn it back to you because you turn it into the federal agencies.
Oh, okay.
In
Not the
ours,
local people.
not ours, but they're
But not the local,
no.
because I think they'd be corrupt. Some of them, not all of them.
They
but
are.
Some of them would be.
But I would love to take a boat down to these places, but I can't do it.
I don't blame you.
I can't do it.
Wow.
I'd have to have 24 flare pistols on board
Yeah.
with a bunch of flares.
Yeah.
But even when we're out here offshore, when we go offshore here, I can carry mine there,
I'd carry
and
it
I do.
like a rocket launcher or something.
That's illegal.
Wow.
But there is some heavy armor.
That one guy
board.
got caught with one. Apparently, they're easier to get than you think.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Trying to get all the ammo for them.
Yeah. Do you know how we always complain about Seattle? You know how progressive we think they are and how dumb,
Yeah.
dumb decision making. Have you heard about what that comedy club has done to the comedians that they
The
say are not
conservative
woke?
comedians.
Did you hear that story? It was.
Yeah,
I mean,
they won't let
I
'em
laugh
perform.
about it. So they canceled all their shows because they said they don't like because their monologues are offensive because they're non-woke.
Well, all of you who've been canceled, if you're good enough to have been accepted there in the first place, come on down. We got a chair right over here for you.
One of them had wanted some Emmys. That's how funny, and one of them went on TV and has predicted they've been making the conservative talk and TV show
Mhm.
rounds just to almost laugh about this. What is interesting is the name of the bar is the Capitol Hill Comedy Club or Comedy Bar. That is hilarious in itself. Not even surprising. It's kind of ironic in my opinion.
Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Right.
the one guy predicts that because the community activists, now this is the same community during the George Floyd riots
Mhm.
where they were rioting and protesting. But they deemed these comedians offensive to their lifestyles and stuff. They've got a lot of problems there. And the biggest irony of that is a lot of their shows, because they cancel them all throughout the year. A lot of them had already tickets were going fast on. So he's like, you might be offended, little activist, but the public was buying our tickets.
Yeah,
So
well,
other
absolutely.
clubs in the area is like, come on down. It's like they're rebooking them.
I got you.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and do a little bit of weather when we come back, and then we're going to have His Honor, the mayor of the friendliest city by the sea. We'll be in here joining us in here in just a few minutes. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Hey, let's have a party here this weekend, all right? Yeah! All right, it's the weekly Top 40. This is Rick Dees, and we've got a healthy helping of some hot music, some Dees sleaze. The weekly Top 40 Challenge has a great prize. This weekend, we got the hits right here on the weekly Top 40. We'll see you here.
The weekly Top 40 80s edition, Sunday night, 6 to 10 on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Get Ahead at Work.
It's simple. Just ask for a meeting with your supervisor. While you're discussing the latest sales reports, just slip into the conversation that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Whoa! The business savvy you showed saving hundreds of dollars on home insurance will have you running seminars on saving money in no time.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com. A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pounder. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843. If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
I am Paul Buchanan, running for re-election as an Onslow County Commissioner. No false promises, just a firm commitment to serve the citizens of this county to the best of my ability. As a county, we face many challenges ahead. Navigating through those challenges requires seasoned, dedicated leadership. Your voice is an important part of the government of this county. I will continue to make sure your voice is heard. I will continue to do my very best to serve all the citizens of Onslow County. My goal is to provide the maximum support, vital services in this county possible. With the realities of the resources available, let us work together to make our county the best it can be. Every election is determined by the people who show up. I ask for your continued support and your vote on Tuesday, March 5th, paid for by the candidate.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, and we're back. I got a question for y'all. If you're a boater, why would you not want to shop at the best marina in the area? That's the title that the Daily News readers gave Tideline Marine, voting it the best place to buy a boat. The Tideline team has earned your trust, and you can rest assured that you'll get the absolute best service if you're having issues with your motors. And if you're in the market for a new boat, come on down. Tideline Marine has those in stock as well. Perhaps you just need to replace that old motor. Maybe your boat trailer is falling apart. The folks at Tideline will be glad to help you. If you're into fishing, the Ship Store has lures that the best professional guides in this area use and recommend. Stop in, check out the store, talk with Todd, Elise, or George for some great deals on boats, motors, or trailers. One piece of advice, don't wait for the weather to turn really warm. That's what so many people do, and the chances are that the selection won't be as good as it is now. Tideline Marine and Family, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Got a small craft advisory in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Offshore northerly winds today, 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 30, diminishing to 15 to 20 with gusts up to 30 late this morning, then becoming northeasterly 10 to 15 with gusts to 25 this afternoon. Seas 5 to 7 feet, subsiding to 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Near shore seas 3 to 5, subsiding to 2 to 3 this afternoon. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy this morning. Easterly winds 15 to 20 tomorrow, seas 3 to 5, dominant period 5 seconds, sounds and rivers choppy. Saturday, southerly winds 10 to 15, seas 5 to 8 feet. Subsiding to 4 to 5 in the afternoon, sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Today, partly sunny, a high of 57, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts as high as 16 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 37, so Rayford, you can have your fireplace.
I've got it waiting.
Tomorrow, rain likely, mainly after 4 p.m. though. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, high of 58 with about 18-mile-an-hour gusts. Tomorrow night, rain, low of 53, and still a little gusty, believe it or not, with 2 inches of rain possible. Then on Saturday, rain likely, mainly before 1 p.m., and then otherwise mostly cloudy, a high of 68.
You guys remember back in the 50s? You don't. 50s and 60s, where a lot of men wore hats. Remember seeing those days?
I know pictures from family members, so yes.
You remember that. And I bet John Davis remembers some of that too. No?
Before my time.
Oh, okay. Well, they wore hats. On a day like yesterday and today,
There were lots of hats.
they were chasing hats everywhere they went. I remember seeing those things. That was just kind of fun.
Seen that in movies and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love the women at some of the churches in our community on Sunday coming to church with their hats. I just love watching them.
It used to be you had to get dressed up to go to church.
Yes.
You don't have to do that anymore, do you?
No.
It was tie and go.
A lot of people don't, for sure.
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, His Honor, John Davis from Swansboro, candidate for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Commissioners. And I guess you've been out working.
I have been, man, met with a lot of people, a lot of communities, and really just thankful. Just continued support, continue to get from anybody like one of your competitors, yet friends, Henry Hinton, to a young lady named Dee Dee working over at, I believe, Helen's Kitchen. Just support from all walks of life, and it really means a lot. And just meeting with people and hearing their stories and the impacts of what county government does to people.
Yep. So county government should be doing something for the people.
That's right.
But you said to the people. Sometimes that's the way it works.
There's impacts when we make decisions. Yeah.
And I was talking with somebody else the other day, and it's, you're well known, especially in Swansboro, obviously. You've been on the board there as mayor for how long?
Been mayor for 6 years, going into the 7th.
Yeah. So you're pretty well known everywhere you go there, right?
In Swansboro, Hubert, sometimes people know me and I don't know them, or I'm embarrassed because I feel like I should know their name and I don't.
Yeah. I don't think you got a whole lot to worry about around Swansboro. I know I've been seeing your signs up elsewhere, all over the county now.
Sure.
And are you getting out and talking to people?
I've been out to Sneads Ferry, Richlands. I think some of them in Richlands and Sneads Ferry starting to recognize the face, have a handshake, develop some friendships around Jacksonville as well. It's a lot of work. It's a big county. You go from a town of 4,000 to a county of 200,000. So it's a little bit of an exercise.
Well, let's pretend that you haven't gone anywhere. Okay. Let's just pretend that you haven't been anywhere in the county, in case there is some human, and I don't think there are, but that does not know who John Davis is. Every candidate should have some type of platform that they're running on.
Sure.
What would be your platform, or what is your platform?
Well, it hasn't changed much since I was here last. You certainly want to work on lowering the taxes. I wish I could guarantee that would happen. But I think there's plenty of work there to be done. Certainly want to work with our folks in the mental health industry and partner with them. I know that means a lot to you.
I got a question about that too. Keep going.
And our veterans, I think we definitely got to support our veterans. There's several projects in the county going on that we need, whether it's our Marine Museum, whether it's the Veterans Garden in Swansboro, and then economic development is huge. I think we've really got to do much better at partnering with our Jacksonville-Onslow Economic Development team and getting industry in here. And one of the things that developed over talking to people, and this is the beauty of campaigning, I think you learn so much just from the people. And what we don't have is a clear infrastructure, utilities, and service plan that reaches out 5, 10, 20, 50 years from now. And that's something, and it's got to involve all the stakeholders and the municipalities. It's got to have your population centers in. It's got to have those things in those stakeholders in place for this plan to work. Because I think what you're starting to see, and I don't know the $50 word for it, but basically what you're seeing is that the county is becoming, you can't see the separation. You're beginning not to be able to see the separation between town, between Swansboro and Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Sneads Ferry. You're beginning to see that merge other than where the base is.
It's a lot smaller world than you think it is.
It is. It is. And so how are we working as partners with all these municipalities, with these populations centers such as Hubert and Sneads Ferry, Richlands, not only a municipality, but the big area around them that's developing. I think they have another development that's getting ready to go up 400 houses. So how are we working and thinking through infrastructure, water, sewer, schools, and how are we getting everybody at the table, getting the minds of the county together to be thinking through these things long term, not just short term, not just next year, not just 5 years, but when you and I are gone, are we leaving a plan behind that people say, wow, they really thought about this?
That's a good point. Well, hasn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, and didn't it used to be at one time that the commissioners did have meetings with all the municipalities, like it was once every quarter or something? Do you remember that?
I have not experienced it as mayor. I know that Chairman Bright and I talked about it, and we were trying to pull that together. I'm not sure where it didn't come together, and it hasn't happened again since I've been mayor. And that's something like that we do with our boards in Swansboro. And one of the other things that we've talked about and talked with community members is, especially, you forget how big Onslow County is, right? So how could we do a board meeting in Sneads Ferry, perhaps at Madison's? How could we do a board meeting out in Richlands at the museum, or if Richlands would be so kind, use their town hall? So how do we do board meetings where the people are? And certainly that can't be every time, but it's things that you can do to be where the people are, so that people begin to know who you are and build those relationships and rapport. Because when people want change and they go to you and they don't know who you are, that there's hard to get through that relationship that needs to be there. And so what are things we can do to build those relationships so that people can have that input?
Well, do you feel there's a transparency issue?
When I will say it this way, because transparency has become one of those words that comes with fireworks around it. I will say we need to be more open book, especially in our finances. Everybody's got their own view of what transparency is. Too much transparency can take away from trust, as much as not enough transparency can take away from trust. So there is a balance there, but open book, you need to be willing. And it's something that I've done in Swansboro. I carry my phone with me. If somebody calls, I answer. If somebody's mad at me, I stop and I listen. And I think that's one thing that we can all work on is, and this is just a general rule of mine in life. If somebody's angry, there's something inside that's bothering them. They've been hurt. What is it that the town or the county has done that they feel hurt by?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you understand that? And then how do you listen? And then is there a way that you can help bring resolution to what they're going through? And oftentimes it's just they want to be heard as a citizen.
Well, I think there's a difference between, and this would be for any elected official, the difference between anger and harassment. So, just saying.
Former Sheriff Miller, Hans Miller here, and when he was elected, he held a quarterly, I think it was, meeting in different locations.
He did.
a town hall type of
Yes, he
situation.
did.
That's kind of what you're talking about, I think.
Well, it's similar. Town hall is, you can't do any official business in a town hall setting.
Right.
And
I think he's talking about doing like having.
I know it's talking
about, but I think you could do both.
But you would be taking it to the people.
Yes, and I
Right,
think you could
right.
do town hall type settings as well as do an official. I think you could do some official meetings
I
there.
think it would have to be a meeting where you didn't need to have your computers, your laptops, your flash screens and stuff like that. So it would have to be a very simple meeting where you didn't have to go over documents, et cetera. And then it have to be at a place where you're able to internet so you can broadcast it.
Yeah.
But that's something that I'm sure the commissioners can take a look at. We did that with a party at one year. We would go to different areas of the county to hold meetings so other people could join us.
You had a question about mental health too, I think.
I do have a mental health question. You had mentioned mental health, which is a huge problem in this nation. And I know the state of North Carolina is starting slowly to address it, not fast enough. What would you like to see as far as mental health changes or additions or growth in Onslow County?
Well, that's a great question. And we could spend hours probably talking about this. I'm actually meeting with a friend this morning to go to my next appointment, a community partner who works with Hope is Alive, which is an addiction recovery program. And one of the things that is I think it's $19.1 million we got out of the opioid settlement. And, we sent $1 million down to Wilmington for beds. And it's my understanding, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding that the beds are always full and we can't get anybody there.
Pretty much.
So that right there is a start on how are we spending our opioid money? How do we get that into Onslow County instead of sending it out of Onslow County? How do we partner with Hope is Alive? And I'm using them as one example. I'm sure there's others out there that could benefit from this money to be successful because they're already good at what we do. I think government needs to take a step back and take advantage of private folks that are already doing well at what they do. And that's kind of where I would go, as I would support our private folks that are already doing well in Onslow County and get that opioid funds out to them and trust them to do a good job that they're already doing. I know we had one community leader, can't remember his name now, that was there, and he was talking about that they have several smaller organizations within the churches that are doing well. And that, it's kind of like you said how big it was. What's the old saying? You eat the elephant one little bite at a time. So if we can work with these smaller community groups, their 501c, and help fund them at what they're good at doing, that's first start right there.
Do we need a facility?
I don't want a government facility. I'd rather work with private industry, somebody that can support it. Like Hope is Alive has their own bedroom facilities. They're basically a live-in with typically 5 bedrooms or so. They got 3 houses in Eastern North Carolina, one in Greenville, Otway, and one in Hubert. And again, that's an organization that I'm close to, so I'm more familiar with. I rather support them, but I don't believe you can use the opioid funds for that, if I remember correctly.
It's very specific.
But to answer your question, I'd rather work with other folks that are doing these things. I know there's a group out of Wilmington that wants to put a facility here, but like I said, I need to understand the rules of opioid funds, but I'm pretty sure you can't use them for that.
Well, Hope is Alive focuses predominantly on substance abuse, but I haven't really heard hardly any of the candidates talk about mental health itself. Mental health and substance abuse are 2 different things. So and I know as a mental health provider, what a intense need this county has for actual mental health providers. What would you, as a commissioner, try to do to expand mental health? Because mental health involves insurance, and certain providers only take certain kinds of insurance. What would you like to see happen to expand the mental health services in this county for people with actual mental health that have some mental health people do not have any substance issues? Mm-hmm. So what would you propose for that?
Some don't, but I think substance abuse, at least in my opinion, is part of the mental health problem. And being with our veterans, one of the things that I'm working on is HBOT for Heroes. I'm actually going up Friday night for that. And what HBOT is hyperbaric oxygen treatment. And I think you're a diver, right?
Yes, sir.
And so, Rafer, you understand, you know, especially if you get caught with a bends or something like that, to get the oxygen stabilized in your blood. And what they have done is they are working with our veterans who have TBIs or post-traumatic syndrome, and they are working to raise money to provide
a hyperbaric chamber for our veterans with mental health issues, who their families are broken and stuff. They have some incredible testimonies of where these folks do, I believe it's 40 to 60 dives is what they call it. And they're in that chamber, and they go through their dives, and they're not only is the veteran being healed, but their families are being healed. I'm actually going up, and you can look up HBOT for Heroes.
I'm right here.
And there's a gala in Raleigh at the Red Barn at, I believe, 5:30. I think it's sold out actually, but the whole purpose of that is to get an HBOT chamber here in Eastern North Carolina.
Nice.
And so that we can treat our local veterans, because that's one of the things that I'm learning out on the campaign trail, is we don't have a lot of facilities, not only for mental health, but healthcare period for our veterans. We have a clinic, but we have no doctors staffing our clinics. They're having a hard time getting prescriptions. So what HBOT for Heroes, they want to bring it to the veterans so the veterans don't have to go to it. The closest facility right now is in Durham to get the hyperbaric treatment. So they want to bring it here.
I think, I may be wrong, Hanover Memorial was at one time experimenting or considering installing a hyperbaric chamber
I think
there.
you're right. I think
And they were going to use it for treatment of various diseases.
Right.
Right. So there is a hyperbaric chamber, I believe, at Carret Memorial.
Okay.
But they use it for your open wounds and those type of things.
That's what New Hanover was going to do.
Yes. But this one is specific for our veterans and for the TBIs and the post-traumatic syndrome.
But it could also be used for other things like emergency treatment for divers who
yes.
end up with the bends, or if they go too deep, stay too low.
You haven't had a question yet, Miss Lee.
I hadn't had a chance.
Well,
Just kidding. I'm just
let's
kidding.
take a break and we'll
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's with Century 21 champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Hi, my name is Michelle Halley, and I'm running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Education. I have lived in Onslow County for over 40 years and have a vested interest in the community and the school system. I want to serve on the Board of Education because I am a firm supporter and believer of public education and wish to work collaboratively with others to support the students, employees of the system, and the community. I believe in developing effective partnerships with all stakeholders to ensure continued success. Together, we can provide the opportunity for an excellent education for all our students. A quality school system is vital to the success of Onslow County. Please use your voice and vote in the upcoming Onslow primary. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you and have a fantastic day. Paid for by the committee to elect Michelle Halley, Board of Education.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, Dougie, we're back live and local talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Our guest in the studio, Swansboro Mayor John Davis, and he's running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Commissioners. Okay, you had a question.
Two questions. First question is, what made you want to leave being mayor of Swansboro and jump into this political arena and work at being a Onslow County Commissioner? What propelled you into that?
Being asked.
Being asked.
You know, it's high praise to get asked. I don't think it's a secret that the former mayor, George Jones, called me and said, John, you've done a good job in Swansboro, and I think you would do well as county commissioner. And so we went from there.
We had a listener ask, will you still be mayor? If you are elected Onslow County Commissioner, you will have to resign your duties.
Yeah, and
mayor.
again, not to get the cart before the horse, but if the people were to choose me as one of their candidates on March 5th, then we still have to go through a regular election in November. And then the swearing in would be in December, as I understand it.
I think it's first week in December, isn't that right, Kevin?
So right before that swearing in, I would have to resign my position as mayor.
And then what happens to Swansboro?
So Swansboro's got fairly good ordinances in place in their charter, and the members of the board and the people will have to make a choice to appoint a mayor, because I think it's more than 90 days out from the election. And so they'll appoint somebody, and then they would keep that seat filled for that time that it's
They
vacated.
keep it filled, I think 2025, is that when?
Yep, and then 20.
So they don't have much time left.
No, it'd be about a year of
Right.
service.
So they would appoint somebody probably from within the board, or they
Very
could take
possibly.
outside applications.
Yes, and we do have a talent application bank, and that's what we use to fill the position for commissioner
Right.
that we just filled. And of course, you can make the choice outside of that, but that's what we do.
But if you chose somebody from on the board sitting there now,
right,
then you're going to have to choose somebody else to replace
Yes,
that.
there's a little bit of a domino effect there. They got
There
some
you
work
go.
to do. They do.
Residents of City of Swansboro, here's your chance.
There you go.
All right, and another thing I wanted to ask you, I know part of your platform has been reducing spending within the board for the county. Where would you start?
Wow. Well, that's another fantastic question. And so I would start in two places. One is turnover. And I don't think you need any official document to see that we have a lot of turnover in the county. I was watching it as I was watching the different commissioner videos over time. And I kept saying, to myself, how come we just hired 7 people, by the way, another 7
I saw that.
people.
Yes.
And congratulations to them.
Yes.
But We have a lot of turnover, and I've heard some insane numbers, but I don't think the documents have been released yet. So I'm not going to say what those numbers are, but they're very high. And if you run a business, one of the most expensive things that you can have in a business is turnover, because that means you have to train and then you have to teach. It takes time for them to come up the learning curve and to become efficient at their jobs and all this. And one of the other things that I've heard that I think would also help keep our spending down is it kind of goes hand in hand with this, is that when we have quality people that are getting high ratings, then we shouldn't be hiring people into equivalent jobs at a higher pay rate. That doesn't make sense to me. We need to take care of the people we have. We have a lot of good people in the county, a lot of good staff. So how do we take care of them? And you can give them sufficient raise without putting people in at much higher raises, because then that also affects your morale. And when you have low morale, you have low productivity. One of the other areas that I think that we need to do that would save, I think, the county, I would argue millions of dollars, can't prove it, but I think when you start thinking about the vastness of our county and you start thinking about EMS and fire, we've got to do a better job at partnerships. We're building right now, I believe, I want to say 4 or 5 different emergency facilities right now. How many of those facilities are we partnering up with a municipality or a volunteer department and partnering up and making use of that facility? And again, as I did in the forum, I'll give credit where credit's due. My chief brought to my attention, it's unfortunate that we can't build a facility right around 172 and 24, because then if we could put a building there, the county could share.
Yeah.
The town could share, we could share personnel resources, and we would be sharing a bill together. And certainly then you bring to the advantage of the table volume. And when you can purchase in volume, it also helps keep your costs down. So I think there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that we can look after. And a lot of that comes out of being in partnerships. I think the more we can partner, the more that we can lower costs.
All right, let's take another break here. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WST. Our number, if you got a question for the mayor, a candidate for commissioner, do what? The mayor. Give us a call at 910-333-0139. We'll be right back.
WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbin Avenue in Swansboro.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway, is Jacksonville's oldest tire company. And now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto or truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone, 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville. Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert looks forward to serving you throughout the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 Second Amendment Lane in Hubert between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock. to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to bag that trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and constitution.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable temperatures and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home, your family, and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because when the temperature falls, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, serving our community for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-4311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Why vote for Republican candidate Suzanne Long on March 5th? Mrs. Long is a conservative Christian with 30 years of experience in Onslow County schools, serving as a teacher, principal, director of curriculum and instruction, and executive director of exceptional children's programming. She has the perspective of being a military child, military spouse, and mom of a Jacksonville high school graduate. March 5th, choose a voice for quality public education for children, quality vetted resources and support for staff, and quality commitment to the community. Choose Suzanne Long. Paid for by the committee to elect Suzanne Long for Onslow County Board of Education.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back live and local and wrapping up here for the next few minutes with John Davis. Is there anything else that we have not covered? Anything out there that you really have a hankering to discuss?
Well, there's so much to discuss. And again, I want to make sure I tell thank you to all the people who have shaken my hand or taken the time to listen, that let me interrupt their lunch or their breakfast or just their moment of life to ask them for their vote. But, I'll just share, one story that I was going to share the other day. And as commissioners, and if I were to be elected as a commissioner, as a mayor, you have to remember you impact people. Your decisions impact people, and whether that's staff, or whether it's a resident of the county, you impact people. And one of the things that you don't think about perhaps is even like recreational sports. And I had somebody contact me via Messenger and then via phone. And I actually had somebody in Swansboro reach out to me and say, hey, did you know this was going on in recreational softball and baseball? And then it was amazing how quickly it merged together with people asking about that. And the county, and I'm not saying the county's wrong or right, but I'm saying that we have some parents that their children have been affected by the rules. And, when you have a mom sitting there in front of you and she's in tears because it's affected what her daughter's doing, it just reminds you why we're there. We're there for the people. My signs say you matter, and that's kind of how I've lived as mayor, is making sure that we're taking care of the people.
We've got a caller here, probably got a question for you. Might want to put your headphones on.
All right.
Hey, Theo, how are you?
Good morning, deplorables. How are you?
We're fine, Mr. Adorable. Hope you are.
Mayor, how are you?
Hey, Theo, how are you this morning?
Welcome to drama country. Before I ask you a question, I want to talk to Rayford. Did somebody say bar me from calling the station yesterday? One of your listeners?
No.
No, not you, Theo.
Oh, I
Not
thought it
at
was
all.
me.
No, not at all.
We would never
All
let
right,
that happen.
Very good. All right.
We don't bar anybody unless they get into profane language or get real personal.
So, Mayor, You've been in there for 6 years, right? Or
Yes.
7 years, and the term is for 8 years. Were you planning on running a third term if you didn't run for this?
Wow, that tough question because my wife's going to have to answer that question.
Well,
Yeah, I am
what I want to ask you is, do you believe in term limits?
Yeah, I knew where you were going, and yeah, I do, and that's why it's such a tough question, and that's why I don't have a good answer. My wife's probably going to enforce term limits if I when it comes mayor. So we'll see. Great question. I definitely believe in term limits for our federal government and in our House and our Senate, and I would like to see those go into place. I think in local things, maybe some term limits as well. I'm not sure what those definitions are of what those term limits are, but it might be something that we need to look at as well. It's a good question.
What I'm thinking about is that you made some promises, just like you're promising now or talking now. You made some promises to the Swansboro people. And did you meet any of those? Did you need more than 8 years, or did you get some of these things done?
Yeah. So, wow. I like you, Theo. We're going to keep you on the radio. So I try not to promise, but I do put challenges out there that I would like to accomplish. And one of several things that we have been successful at doing in Swansboro, one of the biggest ones is sidewalks. That's been a huge success in Swansboro. We've been able to improve our parks. We have been able to improve our planning. One of the challenges that we've been working on is with a neighborhood called Charleston Park, and it's one of the ones, and I believe that we are finally making progress to be able to take care of our residents in Charleston Park with their needs that they have. So I would dare not say that I've been 100%, but I have had a lot of success in Swansboro, and very proud of my record, and very proud of our town and our people and the relationships with the community.
So I'll be able to go to your Dairy Queen now because those ugly signs that you had on both sides of Swansboro are gone.
Well, hopefully, and welcome. Thank you for bringing up Dairy Queen, and invite everybody to come see us and visit with us. Get a blizzard, get an ice cream cone. It's getting that time of year. It's starting to get warmer.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you one more question. It's a serious question.
Okay, see
And
ya.
I want to know if you're a mega Republican.
A MAGA Republican.
Yes, a mega Republican, not just a Republican, a mega Republican.
Hey, no, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not hiding from anybody. I'm a Republican, and our choice for president right now is you got between Haley and Trump, and my choice is going to be Trump. I have no problem sharing that with the public, and I'm also going to support Mark Robinson, and I have no problem with sharing that with the public. Does
that make you a MAGA Republican? I don't even know what a MAGA Republican is.
The mega Republican, my definition is somebody who thought that the vote was stolen and that President Biden is not the president. That's the mega Republican for me.
Wow, there's a definition. I think there are definitely some questions around I believe, what is it, the 2020 election that you're speaking towards? And I think there's definitely some questions around it, and I'll leave it at that.
I'm disappointed in you. No, I really am. I was hoping that you come. You have some good ideas that you're going to come and do in this town, in this county. But when I ask this question and people are not sure what is going on after 4 years almost, and how the election was trying to be overturned, and I just can't see how my neighbors, because you're my neighbor, think like that. And I'm saying to myself, is it me or what's missing over here? I don't understand. Did you believe in the insurrection? I mean, what you saw with your own eyes, did you believe in that?
I'm still watching the evidence come out, and that's the thing that bothers me about January 6th is that we don't have all the videos out yet. We've had evidence destroyed, and so that there is
destroyed.
Yes. And so, and that's all been in the newspaper or in the media. So all public information that we've had evidence destroyed. And it bothers me that we had the January 6th committee and that they destroyed evidence before the new board took over. So those are things that are really out of my wheelhouse. They're above my pay grade, but that, those are my thoughts.
Okay.
Well, coming into a seven commissioners in this county, there's some friction going on. You think you'll be able to handle that?
Well, and I think that's a great question. And in terms of how do you get along with people, there's always friction. There's always conflict. So how do you treat people? And I've always been taught to treat people with respect, give them the benefit of the doubt, to listen. And that's what I'll work to do, Theo, is listen to ideas, to try to resolve conflict and try to promote positive thinking. I think there's always times that folks are going to get passionate. If you don't have passion, we wouldn't be in the business. So doing this, of supporting our community and supporting our county. So, but when you have passionate moments, you don't hold it against the person down the dais from you. You realize that they're passionate about what they believe in, and you try to work with them, and you try to see both sides of the story. And as long as it's not morally, ethically, or legally against what what I believe in, then I'm going to figure out a way to work with them.
All right, gentlemen, we've got to go. We're running a little bit late, about 5 minutes late.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Theo. Thank you for your questions.
And we'll talk Wednesday.
Thank you, Theo.
Okay.
Bye, Theo.
John, thank you. We appreciate you coming in again. We do appreciate that, and being open and forthright and taking calls as well.
Absolutely.
So
we'll see what happens on Tuesday. Ask everybody for your vote.
I just want to know one thing. If you win, does that mean we all get a free ice cream cone?
Everybody in this room, including our new guests, will get free ice cream.
For life?
What's that?
For life.
Oh, not for life. Not for life.
I thought I was going to try it. All right, we'll be right back here live and local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville. Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump's claim of immunity in a federal election interference case will be argued before the Supreme Court April 22nd.
The order puts the immunity issue on the fast track at the High Court, with the justices limiting the question to this: whether, and if so, to what extent does a former president enjoy presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office?
Fox's Shannon Brain. The Israeli military says soldiers opened fire on a crowd in self-defense during a stampede. Gaza's health ministry says more than 100 Palestinians are killed, at least 760 injured.
It's reported to have happened in Gaza City as a crowd gathered to receive humanitarian aid. The head of the ambulance service says medics found possibly hundreds of bodies lying on the ground.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Stock futures are down ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, we're back. Interesting. John Davis, interesting guy. And Theo's always a pleasure to have on here. We have a good time with Theo. He's my buddy. Okay, let's see. I think I got all the mics up this time around. We'll see. Anyway, Lee, want to do the introductions?
Kelly. I can do it.
Kelly can do it.
Yes. So we have two ladies in here from Warm NC, and Warm NC is a nonprofit that helps. Now, y'all tell me if I'm right about this. I'm trying to do my homework here. Low income individuals, that could be senior citizens, veterans, families, etc. With you guys do like home repairs and try to make sure people who do not have the means to maybe keep their home up to, I started to say up to code, but up to date and make repairs as needed. You guys will come in through an application process and actually provide these services for free to the homeowner, correct?
Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. Yes, you got it right. Yes.
Okay, we have two ladies in here. I have spoken with LaShawn Harston.
Yes,
I
Harston.
get that right. Okay. And who do you have here with you, Suzanne?
Miss Suzanne.
Suzanne Gelot.
Okay. The last name I couldn't
not remember.
Okay.
Jalot.
Jalot, yes.
Spell that for me.
Jalot.
Oh, that's very easy.
Jalot.
She's putting it on.
And your first name?
Suzanne.
Suzanne, Suzanne.
Hey, I knew it'd be a Z if I put S. I got it.
All right. So ladies, tell us a little bit about Warm and See, how long it's been around, the areas you cover, et cetera.
Okay, so Warm's been around since 1996. First starting out in New Hanover County, and so our first initial counties were Brunswick, New Hanover, and Pender County, and then we expanded services to Onslow and Duplin, which are my counties that I cover, and then we also cover Bladen and Columbus County.
Oh wow, nice.
It's a lot of area.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of area, and there's a lot of need.
And so give everybody a little overview exactly of what you guys do, and then like the process for that.
So what we do is we, like just as you mentioned before, we do provide repairs to the home, but we focus on the safety of the home, ensuring that the homeowner can live safely and comfortable in their home, whether they need a wheelchair ramp that they need to have installed because now they're recently just been wheelchair bound, or just elderly, unable to climb steps. We focus on also maybe roof. They may need some roof repairs because of storm damage, or any other health concerns, safety related health concerns that they need repairs done to their home. And it could be bathroom accessibility, things of that nature.
Very nice. Now, how would someone who needed these type of repairs done, how would they even I know there's an application process. How would they apply?
So it's very easy to apply. They can call the number that we have listed, which is 910-399-7563. They can call and reach out to one of our either one of the program managers, myself, or Aaron Wall, who covers Columbus and Bladen County, or our main office, and someone will talk them through the process and take some very basic pertinent information just to get their name entered in a database, their information in our database. And then we send them out an application and they fill it out. We just ask with their application that they follow the application procedures, making sure that they provide the necessary paperwork, which is proof of identification, proof of home ownership, and also proof of I'm missing one. I'm having a brain fart.
I do it all the time.
Proof of home ownership, proof of identification, and proof of income.
Okay. That's a big one, definitely.
That is a big one.
You definitely don't want somebody coming in taking advantage of a program when they have other means. I understand.
Because we are held to income standards or given to us by the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency.
I was going to ask you, how are these projects funded?
We are grant funded. We have two of our primary grants, which is our urgent home repair program and our also essential single family rehabilitation program. Those are funded by the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. And then we also have private grants and other grantors that give us.
I'm gonna jump in on this one too.
All right.
Yes. We heavily rely also on individual and corporate donations.
Yes, there you go.
And one of the ways that we're able to do the work that we do, we leverage that funding using volunteer labor as well. So we are always looking for volunteers, and you don't have to have any construction experience either.
No.
You could, we have construction people on staff, they lead you through it. And it's a great team building exercise if you're a business owner or, just you meet new friends, pick up new skills. So we are always looking for volunteers.
I was going to bring that up. I knew that you guys were always looking for volunteers. So for those that listeners that may be retired or, only work part-time or don't work at all, or you're just looking for something that you want to do, this is a good group for people to volunteer with, to help those here in Onslow County and maybe even volunteer in other counties as well for this. So I think it's great.
Definitely. Just like Suzanne had mentioned, it's a great opportunity to get out of the office and do something different. Okay, come out. Let's do a good team building exercise. Let's go out on the rebuild. Let's help someone who has a need.
But you have supervisors there with them when you go out.
We have professionals. Yeah.
Yes.
They actually know what they're doing.
Yes. And so they're there to guide them through the process. We just ask that all our volunteers be at least 14 years or older. Our volunteer groups, if you're coming as a group, we ask the groups be no more between 6 to 8 people.
Okay.
And then also, if you want to volunteer as an individual, you can also go to our website, www.warmnc.org, and click on the link for volunteers. For volunteerism.
I think this would be a good way when you said, had to be a minimum of 14 of parents to have their kids help learn to be service oriented
Yes.
within the community. Obviously, they probably would be able to do it more in the summertime than during the school year, but
Mhm.
still, this would be very good.
Mhm.
This you guys may want to, and maybe you already have. Schools, especially the high schools, have like service learning and stuff like that. So you're smiling. So you guys
Yes.
are already,
Yes.
that
Yes.
is good. It's a
that
good
is
way
a-
to get
it's-
kids involved.
It's a great way to get the kids involved, but also for those students that need those volunteer hours
Yes.
for graduation.
Yes.
We are all on it. We give our letters of appreciation to our service members who need their volunteer hours so that they can get their volunteer service awards. Oh, yes. We got them covered.
Awesome. I like it.
I was just looking at your history, reading your history, and for our listeners, I just wanted to go over it real quick. Founded as Wilmington Area Rebuilding Ministry, Warm NC began in 1996 in response to Hurricanes Bertha and Fran. Volunteers from across our region were organized by leaders in the Wilmington district of the United Methodist Church to repair the damaged homes of low-income and elderly residents. I think that's marvelous because, we know people today that are still having to deal with repairs being finished from, I think it was Floyd, was it Floyd? Florence.
Florence, yes.
Yes,
and yes.
we still hear from people
Yes.
that are just about us and they say, hey, I've got damage from Hurricane Florence.
Yes.
Can you help?
All repairs are made at no cost to the homeowner. Warm focuses on safety and health related home repairs and accessibility upgrades. And some of your typical repairs are roof repair, ceiling and sheetrock repair, floored subflooring, heating and air, plumbing repairs for the kitchen and bathroom, electrical repairs, window door repair replacement, wheelchair ramp, which you said earlier, construction and repairs. So and weatherization, which is very, very
Yes.
important too.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful service that you know.
Yes.
You're nonprofit.
Yes, we are.
So you depend on grants and donations.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
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 So where do
Excellent.
how can people donate to you? Do you just set it up on a
That's-
monthly deal?
There we go.
You know, as a matter of fact, we are launching a monthly giving campaign March 1st,
Okay,
tomorrow.
that's tomorrow.
So yeah, you can give monthly and every little bit helps. I always say, even if you can give $5 a month, that adds up. You can very easily donate on our website, as LaShawn mentioned, warmnc.org. You can mail us a check. You can come to our event. We have an event. If you want to travel to the metropolis of Wilmington, travel up the road a little bit. We have a gala in June, but yeah. But again, if you don't have the money to donate, if you can donate your time, that is also always appreciated
Yes.
as well.
Definitely.
It's an awesome organization,
Mm-hmm.
and we thank you for all you do.
So I know you had mentioned like roofs and wheelchairs, but you also, I think you had said before, like if mobility issues have occurred for, especially with seniors. So like you guys do stuff like, and I'm asking, converting like bathtubs for seniors that can't step over anymore into just like walk-in showers,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
We do a lot of those
We do.
grab bars in the shower, smoke alarms, anything that makes the home safer.
Yes.
Okay.
I always like to say we take care of the entire home roof foundation inside and out to include HVAC and septics if you happen to have one, as long as it deals with the safety of the home.
And HVAC, is a huge issue for a lot of seniors.
Yes.
I mean, I know I've had to replace mine. That's an expense. And a lot of seniors who are on very fixed income do not have that kind of money, and prices have skyrocketed. So that's good to know that you guys focus on that. But it's not just for seniors. There are a lot of just low income families in general who cannot afford, heating and air systems. And it is sad how many people, even here in Onslow County, that do not have air conditioning systems in their home, and it gets hot here in the summer.
I was going to say, yes, our summers are hot. And if you can imagine sweating for 3 or 4 years and not having AC, when it's a choice between, okay, I've got to pay my electricity, I've got to pay for
Yes.
groceries, I've got to pay for medication.
Mhm.
Home repairs are just the last thing on the list. And
Yes.
so that's how you fall into these things. And that's
Yes.
where warmth comes in.
Yes.
Do you guys do things like a lot of times seniors and people in general live in older homes that may not have, let's say they're even, they just haven't been able to maintain something as simple of like, let's say if they have like brick front porch steps, those things do crumble. I know this from what my grandmother's house did. So you do stuff like those type of repairs too, because that becomes a safety issue. They could fall down their stairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We do a lot of stairs and landings.
Yes,
that's
we
one
do.
of the biggest things.
It's one
that
of the
we do.
biggest
Yeah.
things. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would imagine ramps for individuals as they age and arthritis kicks in and all sorts of other things can happen.
Yes.
We do have a caller. Let's see if he or she has something for you. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Bridget. How are you this morning?
Fine, Bridget. How are you?
Good. Been listening, and I just want to throw in something. This organization is phenomenal. I have several tenants. I won't give names, of course. They have been lucky enough to be able to be covered by this organization.
Good.
For new heating units, some floor work, roofing. I just can't say enough about them. They've been a big help to my tenants, and some are older and some are younger. So kudos to this group. If anybody's listening, kudos.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You
go
too.
ahead.
She mentioned floor work, and that's true. I've had, clients that have been on very fixed incomes in the past, and they will talk about, walking through and their floors are actually falling in, and it is very sad. And now I've got some people I'm going to point in y'all's direction, just so you know. So that need like these type of repairs.
It really, we tend to live in a bubble and a little world, and we don't think about these things.
Yeah. Yes.
But LaShawn and I have seen a whole lot. It's a whole different world, and it's really eye-opening, and it's really heartwarming when you can help these people, and they're so grateful, and you can see the impact immediately, especially when you volunteer. You're there on site. It's so grateful for you to be there.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I've got it right now. She's just waiting on the AC unit or the permit, gentlemen. So
Awesome.
Excellent.
They're going to be
Guys,
very happy. Yeah.
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Thanks,
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have to take a break here and do a little bit of weather, and we'll be back on the other side. See if you can hang in there for just a minute and I'll get this computer turned off. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
60s soul and some of the best from Ray Charles, Otis Redding, Young Holt Unlimited, Lee Dorsey, James Brown, the Four Tops, Jackie Wilson, the Delphonics, Platters, Sam and Dave, Sam Cooke. Ooh, music, stories, and interviews, the best of the 60s soul. Next to go, Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 a.m. WSME.
If you plan to remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
In planning for Onslow County's future, finding the right balance between progress and preservation is key. We aim to support growth without sacrificing our agricultural heritage and strong neighborhoods. To make sure we grow responsibly, let's use new taxes wisely. This means tackling challenges like improving essential services, protecting the environment, and ensuring quality education. Tony Padgett stands out as the sole candidate with a unique combination of experience, having served both as a Board of Commissioners chairman and a dedicated employee of Onslow County. A lifelong resident of Onslow County, Tony's unwavering commitment to public service is marked by utmost honor and dedication. He advocates for a streamlined yet robust local government that prioritizes the well-being of Onslow County citizens. Choose Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner, a visionary leader planning for our community's future. Paid for by Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner.
Hello, this is Bill Mercer of Bartley Insurance Services. Are you prepared for the unexpected? Life can throw curveballs when you least expect it. That's why it's important to protect yourself and your loved ones with short-term and long-term care insurance. Short-term care insurance can provide coverage for the unexpected medical events, while long-term care helps cover the cost of extended care, whether in a nursing home or at home. Don't wait until it's too late. Please call our team at Bartley Insurance Services, 910-346-2170 to learn more.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
You know, if you're a voter, why would you not want to shop at a place that is voted by the readers of the Jacksonville Daily News as the best place to buy a boat? I don't know why anybody would want to do that. That's what the readers of the Daily News title that they gave Tideline Marine voting it the best place to buy a boat. The Tideline team has earned your trust, and you can rest assured that you'll get their absolute best service if you're having issues with your motors. And if you're in the market for a new boat, guess what? Tideline has those in stock as well. Perhaps you just need to replace an old motor. Maybe your boat trailer is falling apart. You can get it at Tideline Marine, get new ones, okay? If you're into fishing, you've got to stop by and take a look at the wall of lures. These are lures that are recommended by local professional fishing guides, and they buy them there, and they recommend them, and you can figure it out. All you got to do is ask the team at Tideline which ones that the pros use. Tideline Marine and Family, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Small craft advisory in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Why? Because today we got winds out of the north, 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30, diminishing to 15 to 20 with gusts up to 30 late this morning and into the afternoon. Seas running 5 to 7 feet. That's big. They'll come down 3 to 5 a little bit later. Sounds and rivers are rough, diminishing to choppy late this morning, then diminishing to a moderate chop this afternoon. Tomorrow, easterly winds 15 to 20. Again, seas 3 to 5 feet. Dominant period 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers choppy. Saturday, southerly winds 10 to 15. Seas 5 to 8 feet. Near shore, seas 5 to 7 feet. Subsiding to 4 to 5 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers are going to be having a bit of a chop.
Today, partly sunny. It looks kind of cloudy out there now. High of 57, but we will have around 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 37. It's cold. Tomorrow, rain. According to this, it will start mainly after 4 p.m., but around here, who knows? Gusts as high as 18 miles an hour and the high of only 58 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it's going to rain most of the night with up to 2 inches of rain possible and gusts as high as 15 miles an hour. Saturday, rain likely, mainly before 1 p.m. Then otherwise, mostly cloudy and a high of 68. It doesn't mention gusts, so I don't know about Saturday.
It's less wind, but it's still going to be choppy out there. The wards will be choppy. In the Lake and Riley murder
Yes,
case,
yes.
the nursing student
Yep.
down in Georgia, after the Athens Clarke County mayor insisted that the community where the student was killed was not a sanctuary city, residents pointed to the sheriff who campaigned on not cooperating with ICE. This sheriff, they found video from a 2020 appearance to show then candidate John Williams, now the sheriff, stating that he would not cooperate with ICE. That's a heck of a thing to be doing for a lawman. Lawmen are supposed to cooperate with other lawmen, period, bottom line.
Well, even here in North Carolina,
I know there's a couple of sheriffs that backed out of
Yeah.
that. I don't get it. Okay, we got a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey guys, it's Steve.
Hey, Steve. What's up?
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
First thing is I wanted to solve the mystery for Theo. It's me they wanted to have banned from the show.
You're not banned either.
You're not banned.
I would like to concede that I was rude. I did cut you off, and that was a poor debater skill. I apologize. I slipped on that one.
It's called passion.
But,
You were passionate.
but I appreciate that you pointed out the fact that I did not say anything offensive.
Right, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, and nor would I. In the decade that I've been calling you, I've never said anything offensive.
God, has it been a decade?
Decade?
It seems like it's a long time. And actually, it's probably been more than a decade. I was being generous on that one.
Okay.
But it seems like I can pull sound bites where Theo has done similar things.
Oh yes.
And it struck my curiosity. I believe that when Theo does it, Theo has a high pitched cartoon-like voice. Even when he's aggressive,
Oh,
it's
you're
not,
getting a call from him.
it's not threatening. And when I say things with my deep voice, people just are, everybody's like, get the bass out of your voice. It sounds so much more offensive when I do it.
Well, just hold on just a second here. Right. Now go ahead and talk. I've taken some bass out and I've got some treble in. Go ahead and try it now.
I got you. Does that sound
He
better?
sounds the same. You sound the
And
same.
that's what I was going to say. It's very difficult for me to take the bass out of my voice. And when I get a little passionate, it gets deeper.
The bass is gone now.
Right. And so, I apologize for that. I understand that I can be a little more offensive than the next person, even if I'm doing something different. It did. So, but the reason why I cut you off on that question, Rafer, is because I knew what question you were going to ask. After 10 years, every time I back you into a corner with facts, you come at me with the same thing, that facts don't matter. It's just my opinion. And I knew that's where your question was going to lead to. And that was the reason why it got me hot under the collar, because it's the same place we always go. And as adults, we do know facts matter, and everybody's opinion is valid until the facts are established. And once the facts are established, then it changes things. You can say that it rained on this day last year in Jacksonville, and I can say it didn't. But once we go to the almanac and we establish the facts, then one of us is right and one of us is wrong. One of us' opinion is valid and the other one is not. And, it isn't always that clear cut, but we do have a system for evaluating people's opinion and choosing the more valid of the two, or the three, or the five. We do it every day in courts. We have people who have opposing opinions that go in there, and they weigh the facts and the evidence, and they decide who's more credible.
Well, in the courtroom, or in where I come from and my background, I can get a whole bunch of facts, but until they're all weighed out, I don't know which one to believe. You understand? He said, she said, and then they start fighting. Now, what do I do then? Whose facts am I going to believe? Go to any divorce proceeding, any divorce hearing, and you'll find them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I would say in divorce hearings, you got a lot of he said, she said, and not a lot of actual documentation evidence or actual physical evidence. So if you speak about a murder case, obviously there's evidence in there that's very definitive, or can be very definitive.
Right.
DNA, stuff like that, ballistic. Science that can be involved is very definitive in those cases.
Well, let me give you an example of that, though, real quickly, if you like. And again, I've seen evidence come back from the lab, the state lab, that was proven to be wrong. Their analysis of it was proven to be wrong, and yet they still try to get it into court. I've seen evidence of fingerprints and a palm print here, a classic one here in Jacksonville years ago, that was wrong. The timeline was wrong. The guy wasn't even in town. So you just...
And that falls more into human error. And that's the reason why I try and keep my conclusions fluid. I base my opinion on the facts as we know them, but it's always open to reinterpretation if facts, come to the surface that challenge that.
Yep.
And that was the thing with the discussion we were having, is that I thought they were going to find election fraud. With 300 million voters and that many precincts, I thought for sure they would find some.
I did not.
So my opinion got changed when the facts came out that it was the most scrutinized and investigated election in American history, and they came up with pretty much nothing. Yep. So that was contrary to, I had to reevaluate at that point. Yeah, it gave me newfound pride in the integrity of our election system. But that was my opinion. That's, but
the only fraud, and I don't even want to call it fraud, I call it honest mistakes most of the time when they find discrepancies in election results. It's very seldom that it's going to be an actual fraud case. You understand? It's going to be a discrepancy. A machine did not count somebody, or refused to, it kicked it out or do whatever, or it counted somebody that wasn't even on there. I don't know. Machines make mistakes. We've all got them. We've all had mistakes, machines with mistakes. Right. If you haven't used a machine. And the same thing for people. Now, can you imagine back in the days when they were hand counting all of those ballots? I was covering elections back then. And yes, there would be mistakes. Very few mistakes are made today, honestly. But when you had human intervention, you can have mistakes. Unfortunately, at times, you can have fraud when there's human intervention. But not often. Not often at all.
I think the big thing that people like me and then people on the left like Theo are trying to highlight is that, just like with the mayor this morning, he was asked, was there any election fraud of significance? And instead of making a definitive answer on that, the evidence supports, he left a cloud over it, that he has questions. And my first question to him is, after 4 years, if you have questions, why are you not pursuing the answers anymore? And that's what, if you nail all these people down about this election fraud, we already have proof that the person who initiated that claim was lying about it. Testimony from all the people around him that he knew it wasn't true, but he kept telling people that. And that's what all this was based on, was a lie. And now, if they have any evidence that proves that there was election fraud, not only do I want to see it, but every news organization in the world wants to see it. But they keep going around saying that there's questions and there's some kind of cloud over that election, and with no basis for that accusation other than their feelings. And I think that's the reason why people like Theo and myself keep wanting to use that as a litmus test, is if you believe that's true, tell me why. I'm willing to believe it too, if you can just tell me a valid reason to believe that.
I can't give you one. I don't believe it. So I can't give you one. Did I suspect there was a possibility after the election? Yeah, after the election I did. But that was only just a very, very vague suspicion. But, it's a possibility.
But here, 4 years later, we've got leaders and political candidates that are still stating that as fact.
Yes.
And even the ones that aren't stating it as fact necessarily, like with all due respect, the mayor of Swansboro there, it's still leaving that cloud and room for people to believe something that can't be proven. You and I probably agree that if it did happen, they can't prove it.
If it did happen and they haven't proven it yet, it probably did not happen at a widespread level. They cannot investigate it. They cannot investigate every precinct. We got 24 in Onslow County alone. They cannot go back and investigate every one of those. No way in the world that can happen. And that's across the entire country. I don't know how many precincts there are in this country. Do you, Lee?
I have to
You'd have to want to know that, wouldn't you?
I have to know that. I'm gonna
But
look it
anyway, it'd be hard to investigate every precinct in North Carolina, much less 50 states.
But that lie is what led a bunch of people on January 6th to the Capitol to commit crime. Not all of them did. A lot of them left when the violence started.
Most of them were not involved in that criminal activity.
Correct.
And those,
I would concede that.
And those that were
the
there,
street I was watching.
Yeah, those.
Once the violence started, I seen a lot of people leaving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have your answer. 176,933.
Wow.
That was of the last survey done in 2020.
So here's what they did as far as the investigation into possible fraud. They took a sample, just like a pollster takes a sample, or the Nielsen ratings or Arbitron ratings. They take a sample of the listeners, of the viewers, or whatever, and they investigated those particular precincts. They didn't find any widespread. You have to then, figure it out across the country. If we didn't get anything in precinct number 1 here in Onslow County, and precinct number 17 in New Hanover County, and precinct number, go across the entire like that, then there's no fraud. If they did not get anything significant in those counties, they would just come to the conclusion there was nothing major widespread across North Carolina.
Well, I got a question for Lee. Hindsight being 2020, I look at it this way now. Lee, would election fraud ever be reported from the White House down? Wouldn't it have to come from the individual precincts? And then once enough precincts reported a problem, then it would become a regional issue and it would work its way up the ladder?
Usually it would come from the state. And usually if you've got fraud suspected or reported, this is how it works. Okay.
Starts with the Board of
You've got the Republican Party that have judges and poll workers out there at the polls. If they see something wrong, they report it to the local Board of Election. And if it is an issue, they investigate it. If it is an issue, then they report it to the state. Now, I know like the state GOP has people all over. They have attorneys on staff. They have pollsters. They have all these people. And so if they see something wrong, they report it to the state GOP and their lawyers start investigating it. So it's a combination of everybody. But I think that if there was huge widespread fraud in North Carolina, the Democratic Party that was on their end, the Republican Party that was on their end, they would have gone straight to Board of Election, the state. They would have involved legislators, Now,
in Bladen County, I think it was,
yes.
Steve, a few years ago, they did have reports of illegal activity. Now, when it becomes illegal, not only does the state Board of Elections get involved, but the SBI gets involved.
Yes.
And they came to the conclusion, and I forgot how many people were convicted, but there was a widespread conviction in Bladen County.
Well, there was a time where some of the people of a certain party, and I believe, I have to check, but I think it. Well, I'm not even going to say because I don't know for sure.
I don't remember.
But they were going to people's homes, like to people who they were ballot harvesting, in other words, and they got caught and they got charged for it too.
Convicted too.
Yeah, convicted too.
My point is that it shouldn't have started in the White House on election night, that claim.
Or election night, heavens day.
There's no way that claim should have been made on election night. And it shouldn't have came from the White House. It shouldn't have been Trump calling the Secretary of State in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, badgering him for an hour, trying to convince him that there was election fraud in his state. The Secretary of State would have been the one to tell him if there was election fraud. Am I correct?
Correct. Well, tell the campaign. I don't know that would tell the candidate.
Right. But that's kind of what I'm saying about the election fraud. If you look at it objectively now, you can see that it don't make sense for it to have been reported the way it was. Mm-hmm. And there's so many things that prove that it was a lie from the get-go. So that puts more burden of proof on people who say there's still questions, because it was all based on a lie. If you still got questions, then you need to provide some proof as to you should be trying to find the answer to those questions more vigorously now than ever.
Well, I will say real quick, because we've got to go to commercial because we're late again, that people are going to have their opinions. There's people who feel like the election was stolen, people who feel like, no, everything was done right. I think where our division is the people that feel like there was no discrepancies and that the election wasn't stolen, are trying to make the people who do believe that, are trying to say, you people that do believe that you're wrong, you're liars, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's called such a division. So it's just something that I just don't foresee ever people coming together again.
Well, and I understand that, and that's the reason why I try to approach it with, if you've got any evidence to back up your claim, I want to see it. I'm completely willing to change my opinion.
But there's no matter how much evidence you show on either side, they're not going to accept it, and that's where we're at now.
Okay.
They won't accept facts. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thank you so much for so much time today. And again, I'm sorry for interrupting the other day.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're not banned.
And my final comment about all the people who claim this and that and whatever, I'm going to do it less succinctly than you did. Put up or shut up. That's it.
Bye, Steve.
All right. Bye, Steve. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning. And now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always,
Stand by, Chris. We want you.
Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts. Free Heating and Air Conditioning with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax. We're on the way.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street on Main Street in Maysville. And remember to take advantage of Pig Perks where you get 1 point for every $1 you spend on future purchases. How about Sweetheart Steaks, just $10.99 a pound? Boneless ribeye steak is only $10.99 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, $5.79 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck is only $3.99 a pound. Whole Boston butt, just $1.49 a pound. And St. Louis style ribs are $1.99 a pound. And whole chickens are just $1.49 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store. And they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson Farm chicken. Over in produce, you get a 2-pound package of fresh strawberries for just $5.98. Fresh blueberries are only $3.99 a pint. Russet baking potatoes, great with steaks, just 99 cents a pound. A dozen premium rose bouquets, just $27.99 each. Zesty limes are only 49 cents each. Large California lemons, just 69 cents each. And hot jalapeno peppers are just $1.99 a pound. And you also get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce non-returnable bottles of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street, Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville. Open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Meet John Davis, a dedicated leader with a vision for Onslow County. As the mayor of Swansboro for 6 years, John has worked with people to make things happen. Now he's ready to work with you to make improvement in the county we all call home. John's platform is built on the foundations of real change. Your voice is at the center of that change. As a champion for veterans and their families, John will continue to collaborate with local, state, and national leaders to improve the lives of the veterans we love in our communities. Onslow County residents need expanded options for mental health and addiction treatment and family support. John needs your help to bring options for hope and healing to our neighbors, friends, and loved ones in need. Emergency response capability is critical to our county, and John values your input as efforts continue to ensure the safety and well-being of every resident. John is a champion for economic development and job creation. You know the jobs we need, and he wants to bring them here. Let's strive to build a thriving, prosperous community for all. Together, we can build a brighter future for Onslow County. Vote John Davis for Onslow County Commissioner. Leadership, vision, and commitment for a better tomorrow.
Paid for by the committee to elect John Davis.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Okay, we're back, and that feedback was brought to you by Lee.
Wait, I'm just sitting here acting innocent.
It's Miller time. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Hey, good morning, my friends. How's everybody doing this morning?
Oh, we're hanging in here.
We're doing good.
Oh, good. A good show this morning. Some great guests, and as always, and so I appreciate you having me on again this morning.
Oh, thank you for coming and setting us straight sports-wise.
Our week is not complete without sports and Chris Miller.
There you go. So what's happening locally?
Pretty cool stuff going on at your Cardinals, Jackson Cardinals. Rayford. Both the boys and girls basketball teams won Tuesday night in their first round state playoff games. First playoff win for the boys team in 8 years, and first playoff win for the girls team in 4 years. The girls beat Carborough, which is near the Chapel Hill area, and the boys defeated West Carteret on Tuesday night. So congratulations to both the Cardinal teams for that, and then they're going to be on the road on Friday night in their second round game. The Jacksonville boys will be at Fayetteville 71st High School for their game, and then the Jacksonville girls will actually be traveling to Terry Sanford, which is also in the Fayetteville area. So good luck to both the young ladies and young gentlemen as they try to advance, and I think they have a good chance to do that.
That would be great.
Well, Chris, how is Swansboro doing?
The Swansboro boys, they are 26-1. They've won they've won 25 straight games. Their last was the second game of the season. But they won all these games in a row, and they're ranked number one in the East in their division in their classification. So
congratulations.
They have a chance to go really far this year in the state playoffs. They'll have some tough teams they'll go up against, but they are more than capable of making a good run at this.
Well, mentally they should be up for it.
Yeah, congratulations, Burl.
There you go.
And it really does mean a lot to the you had the Mayor Davis on. He's a big Swansboro guy. He's a soccer guy, but I know he's proud of.
That explains a lot.
The Swansboro High basketball program and all the programs, but I know the community's really grinning for the success that those gentlemen have had on the basketball court this year. So it's really been fun. Good kids that take care of business in the classroom, like I've always said before, and it's really neat to see them have the success.
Yeah. Well, soccer itself it is really football because all you do is kick it, right?
Oh yeah, well, football.
Yes, football.
It's a football.
Yeah, so soccer's still big here in Onslow County. For years, Swansboro is still considered Soccer Borough, Eastern North Carolina.
Good.
But we have great soccer, across the county, even at Camp Lejeune High School. So it's boys and girls. So it's a lot of fun. But we still got that before we turn our gears to spring sports. We got the basketball still going on. So White Oak boys are still playing. The Southwest girls team is undefeated. They're still playing.
Wow.
Southwest boys are still playing. So we have quite a few teams that are still plugging along.
Okay, Chris, we appreciate it, sir.
Always
All right,
good
thank you, my friend.
information.
All right. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solid-Tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. That's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
This is Robin Knapp, current Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. I'm also a United States Air Force veteran and a retired special agent with NCIS. During the past 8 years, I have never faltered from my stance not to raise taxes or the tax rate, and I voted no the last time we voted on taxes. It is imperative that we continue to strive toward more conservative spending and utilize the funds that we have more efficiently and effectively. Despite our current economic status nationally, we must do everything we can to spend funds wisely, conservatively, and uniquely as we continue to grow as a community. The needs of our citizens and their voices need to be heard because as a commissioner, I represent all of you, regardless of political affiliation, religious beliefs, gender, race, and etc. In the last 8 years, I have shown strong and candid leadership, direction, and fortitude in voicing my opinions and voting without outside influence from others or groups, only voting my conscience and what I feel is best for the citizens and not for me. Please vote for me once again as one of your county commissioners. This message was paid for by the committee to re-elect Robin Knapp.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-3686. 5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
A former Biden communications director, her name is Kate Bedingfield, argued Wednesday that the Democratic Party should get more aggressive on crime because, listen to these words, because Americans in major cities are feeling frightened. How about those Americans in the small towns, the small cities along the Texas border with Mexico? How about the ones in Albuquerque? How about the Americans?
New York City.
What difference does it make whether it's a major city or not?
Right.
Everyone is frightened.
Oh,
Across the country, people are frightened.
Frightened, but I have learned not to go out at nighttime unless it's to a specific place. Go straight, do that, and come back.
Well, I go back out at nighttime, but
Yeah, I mean, not to out, just to roam around or whatever.
No, but anyway, but
I'm not a grocery shopper nighttime either.
just because Americans in major cities are feeling frightened,
It should be all over. And
it's
look at it,
finally
like
come
you
to
said,
rest in major cities.
These smaller cities that are around these larger cities that are having all these issues. It's like Chicago. Would you like to live in a suburb of Chicago?
Nope.
No, not me.
It's too close to Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's a stupid story for you. A police sergeant, female, working at a Florida juvenile detention center, is behind bars herself after she wrote nearly a dozen inappropriate letters to a 16-year-old inmate, a male.
What?
The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office said Wednesday that Sergeant Caitlin Gomez, 27, is charged with one count of solicitation of a child to engage in an act that constitutes sexual battery by a person in a custodial authority. Whoa. She was hired by the Sheriff's Office on January 5th. This is the other thing that gets me. January 5th, she was hired.
Right.
She's a sergeant already.
A sergeant?
Yes.
How does she?
I don't even go there. I don't know.
I'm not even going to ask how she.
Her alleged
advanced.
relationship with a teenage inmate was uncovered when detectives responded to a call from the detention facility reporting approximately 10 inappropriate letters found in his bed. While investigating the letters, detectives learned they were written by Gomez. The letters explicitly described what would take place during their first sexual encounter and described an ongoing relationship
mercy.
which had developed while the victim was incarcerated.
No.
She's been fired.
It's another Lifetime movie of the week.
Good gracious.
See that coming.
Okay, tomorrow we got Robin in here. Robin Knapp's going to be in here as part of his political ads that he's been running.
Yes,
And,
he'll be in here. And we also have John Hardister, who's running for Commissioner of Labor. He's currently the majority whip of the North Carolina House of Representatives. He'll be calling in at 8:05 as part of his paid campaign
All right,
ad.
good. Let's be sure
So-
we put him up there.
Yes, he's on there. Oh, you know what?
Where
I'm
is he?
sorry, he's not. He's
No, he's
doing
not.
Monday. I
Okay,
need
that's
more
him on
coffee.
Monday.
I need more
Okay.
coffee. Okay, we're good. It's just
Gotcha.
Robin so
It's
far tomorrow.
whatever. Just got Robin tomorrow. So
Yes.
and we got Dumb Crook news tomorrow.
Yes,
Not involving Robin. We could ask him if he's got any Dumb Crook news while he's here.
I'm sure. I'd love to hear some stories from former LEO about some crooks.
Oh, yeah.
Dumb
And that
crooks.
brings up a point too. So you former LEOs, or even if you're current, you can change your name when you call. Tell us about some of the dumbest people that you've ever had to deal
Yeah.
with. Dumb crooks.
I love hearing the stories
All right.
like that. They were always so interesting.
Meanwhile, we're going to take a break here
Yes.
for about 22 hours. We'll be back on a Friday, Fabulous Friday, TGIF.
Don't forget to go out and vote.
And you've got a couple of more days, 3 days,
Mhm.
today, tomorrow, and Saturday to vote
That's
and
right.
the early voting. So be sure you get out there and do it tomorrow or Friday or today if you're out and about, if you can do it.
Yes.
You got 5 locations, and you go to the Board of Elections and find out where they are. One of the more populated ones is going to be the Commons.
Commons, easy
recreation center
access.
there.
I like it.
Easy in, easy out.
Yesterday, 553 people voted, which brings a total of 5,503 out of 126,000 people.
Wow.
Um,
And don't
so
forget,
get out there
right
and
after
vote.
Fox News, they're going to have a little music interlude there. And then at 10 o'clock this morning, we're going to have one, the only, Rick Dees and another dose
I
of the
was
Daily
listening to
D's.
him
He's so
yesterday.
witty. And then he's going to hand it off to the man,
Our
Chris
man, our
Hollywood Man, at 3 o'clock this
our
afternoon.
celebrity.
Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow morning.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Supreme Court will hear arguments April 22nd over whether former President Trump is immune from prosecution in a federal election interference case. The immunity question has kept proceedings on hold since December. The court has yet to rule, meantime, on whether Trump can be kept off ballots. A state judge in Illinois says he's ineligible to run.
Illinois joins Colorado and Maine, where officials have argued he should be booted from the ballot, citing the same